In the last session, we have learned about the configuring L3 out with OSPF. Now in this session, we will going to learn how to create L3 out with the help of BGP protocol. So we'll walk through the configuration of BGP as a L3 out routing protocol in CISCO ACI. Now I will open the script to configure L3 out with the help of BGP protocol. So this is my script to create the L3 out. So the first part, it's same, importing the main component of ACI from the ACI toolkit library. Now next part is also same, to access APIC with the help of the URL, login and password. Now here the first thing is to create the tenant. So here I'm giving the name CISCO to the tenant, and then I'm creating a VRF. So here I'm giving name context1, and now I'll need to create L3 out name. So I'll give out-1. Now the next thing is configuring the interface. I'm taking Ethernet port 1/46 on node 101. Also I'm defining here the speed of this interface. So I'm configuring 1 gig port speed. Next thing is assigning the VLAN to this L2 interface. So here I'm assigning VLAN 100 to Ethernet 1/46. Now the next thing is to configure this interface as a L3 interface, and here I am configuring external SVI. Also I'll need to give IP to the interface. So I'm giving this IP address 1.1.1.2/30. Now I am assigning this L3 interface to the VRF context, configuring the L2 parameters to this interface. Now the next thing is to configure the BGP. So here I'm configuring the peer IP, that is 1.1.1.1. Now the next thing is to configure the router ID. So here I'm configuring IP 172.1.1.1. Now I'm attaching L3 interface configuration with the BGP. Now I'm setting send external community, and I'm configuring default route. So I'm putting the network command, that is 0.0.0.0/0. Now the next thing is to configure the contract. So I'm giving the name ICMP to this contract 1, and after this I'm creating the outside EPG. So my EPG name would be out EPG. Now here I'm applying provider contract to this EPG. Now the next thing is to attach this L3 out with the VRF. So I'm mapping this to the VRF context. Now I'm applying consumer contract to this EPG, and the next thing is I'm mapping the BGP interface configuration to this L3 out. The next thing is to push the configuration to the APIC. Now the next thing is to run the script. So here I'll run this script. I'll put Python, name of the script for creating the L3 out. Now I'm putting the username, URL and the password. Now my change is getting pushed to the APIC. So let me check the configuration. Now I will go in tenant. I'll go in the networking, and then I'll check for the L3 out. So I'll click here, and here you can see out-1 is the name of my L3 out, and the BGP protocol has been enabled on this L3 out, and also VR has been created in this L3 out. Now let me check the configuration of the L3 out. So here you can see the node profile is there, and along with this the SVI has been created. Now I'll check the configuration of L3 out in detail. So here you can see the VRF context got mapped to this L3 out, and as we have configured BGP, so here you can see the BGP option is enabled. Now I will go into node profile, and here you can see the name, it's test given to the node profile. Now let me open the configuration of the node profile. Here you can see logical node profile, and under the logical node profile you will get the configured node details and the logical interface profile. So here you can see, so my node is 101 and my router ID is 172.1.1.1 is configured, and it is using the same loopback address. Along with this, I'll get some more details like the peer address, that is 1.1.1.1. so this is my peer connectivity. Now let me check the BGP peer configuration. So here you can see address is this one, and send extended community tab is enabled. Along with this, so rest of the things are set to default. Now here you can see in the topology, so the node 101 is configured and its router ID is 172.1.1.1, and it is using the same loopback address. Now I will check for the logical interface profiles. So here you can see the logical interface profile name is test, and I'll need to check for the SVI. So here you can see 101 node is configured and its IP address is 1.1.1.2/30, and here you can see the MAC address, MTUs inherit, and the encap VLAN that we have used here is VLAN 100. Now let me check for the external EPG. So here you can see out EPG name we had given to this external EPG. Now I'll go into contract, and here you can see the consumed and the provided contract both are applied here to this external EPG. So in this way you can configure the L3 out with the help of the BGP protocol. So I hope you have enjoyed this series of configuring the logical configuration of the ACI with the help of the Python script.